Hey you guys, it's Peter and welcome to my channel, Peter Watches TV, where I watch all the TV shows and then I come over here and I react to them. And today I want to talk about the season 1 finale of POLYFAMILY, which I finally watched last night. But before I do, I want to give a very, very special birthday shout out to my dear friend, Ariel. Ariel, I hope that today you have the best birthday in the entire world. So I want to get that out first. She loves POLYFAMILY and she loves watching TV too. So I wanted to give a birthday shout out specifically over here to Ariel. So happy birthday, Ariel. Hope it's the best day ever. Okay, let's get into the season finale of POLYFAMILY. Now, I have to tell you, I did not know that it was a season finale. I did my reaction to POLYFAMILY last week and I started getting comments on my video and people said, did you not realize it was like a 2-episode season finale this week? I was like, I had no clue. If nobody had said it on my video last week, I would have been waiting for the next episode to come out this week, and I wouldn't have even been aware that 2 episodes were released last week. So, for those of you that do not know, POLYFAMILY ended last week on its 6th episode. They released episode 5 and episode 6 last week, which is interesting because I did my video last week and I said that 1,000 Pound Sisters wasn't on, that they were taking a break. It didn't even occur to me at all, like, I just didn't understand why they were taking a break. It didn't occur to me at all that they were taking a break because it was a 2-hour episode of POLYFAMILY, okay? Now, what's interesting about this is that when POLYFAMILY originally came out, I believe when it first came out, I looked, and it was supposed to be an 8-episode series, first season. Other people said that on my video too, so I must have seen that somewhere, that originally it was going to be 8 episodes, okay? Now, I am going to address this in this video. I'm not going to get into all the specifics about it, but a lot of people are speculating as to whether the show has been canceled. There has been no confirmation that the show has been canceled, but also why it ended early, that they ended on possibly 6 episodes instead of 8. It just kind of ends, and there's not really like any... I mean, on most reality shows that you watch, you can kind of tell that you're watching the last episode. Like, you know it's the last episode of the season. It just kind of ends, and there's like, it doesn't really make sense how it ends or anything. But in the interim, between episode 4 and then last week's episode, in that week, a lot of information came out about Sean. So if you do not watch the show is about a polyamorous foursome, okay? Well, not really a foursome, but it's 2 married couples, Tyler and Alicia, and Sean and Taya, okay? And then Taya is also Tyler's girlfriend, and Alicia is also Sean's girlfriend, but not really. Just kind of his companion, his friend. They don't fuck or anything like that. They're past that point, okay? Alicia is like by herself, and it's Taya and basically anybody that she can get with at this point is kind of what it is. I'm kind of real over her at this point. I liked her at the beginning of the season. I mean, the fact that it only takes you 6 episodes to really dislike somebody is very telling. And I think that Tyler is selfish and egotistic. I think that Taya... I thought Sean was the ringleader of this family, but it is absolutely Taya. Taya is running the show, and if she don't get what she wants, she's pissed off. And then there's Alicia, who basically gets nothing out of this whole situation. I don't even know why she's in it. The show is an absolute shit show. To be honest with you, it's fun to cover over here because it's just such a mess, but it's just not a good show. It just isn't. And I'm not talking about like it's a bad, it's not a good show. Literally, you find out on this episode that the entire storyline has been carried on the fact, basically all 6 episodes have been carried on the fact that they had their new son, Quinn. So the show starts, okay? And Taya, at the end of episode 1, goes in to have Quentin. Episode 2, she's already had Quentin, okay? So the whole first season is basically about them bringing a new child into this family. The second storyline is that Sean and Tyler don't really get along. And it's mostly based around the fact that Tyler texts to the group that a blood test was done on their son Quentin, okay? And he texts the results. Sean looks it up to find out the blood type, okay? And finds out, because I think the baby is like an O type or something, that a B parent can't make an O type. Well, when I heard that on the show, I immediately Googled it and found that that was not true. So I knew that at that point, TLC's production team, I mean, I don't know what's going on with TLC, but they let people get away with lies, carry storylines that have no truth to them. I mean, they do it on every show on TLC that I watch. It's like TLC is like, their production is lies. I mean, it is just straight up lies. And so the entire season is like carried on this storyline of Tyler exposing the blood type of Quentin, and then our landscapers are outside. We'll just take a pause for a second. Na, 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 na. Okay, I think they're gone. Anyway, the whole storyline, most of it is the fact that the family is falling apart because Sean and Tyler do not get along. And the main reason they don't get along is because Tyler has texted to the group the blood type, which then makes it aware, because Sean Googles it, that Sean couldn't biologically be Quentin's father, that it has to be Tyler. And they don't want to know who the biological father is of any of these children, except for the 2 children that Tyler and Alicia brought in. Apparently they don't care about them, because they throw them up on the TV and interview them for this weird-ass show and everything. Okay, they don't care about them kids. So that's the whole storyline, just to find out in the 6th episode that Taya's mom at lunch, with 20 seconds on Google, does research and then finds out that there's no truth to that whatsoever. So the entire show has been carried on a storyline that had no basis in truth whatsoever. Miss me with this shit, okay? The whole show is so weird. But what happened between the week that they let out episode 4 and last week when episode 5 and 6 came out, was that all these allegations from about Sean came out, okay? And all these different websites, I don't know, the Ashley report, I think, is what people were sending me. I read all of them. I'm not going to put them on here or whatever. Apparently, Taya is willing to sue anybody that's coming out. Baby, you're going to sue somebody about the truth? I mean, I don't know who the character witnesses you think aren't going to be on a lawsuit like that. I mean, listen, you're on a TV show, okay? You are now a public figure. People can have opinions about you, Taya. Apparently, Taya's saying she's going to sue anybody that has an opinion about it. You're on a TV show. People can have a public opinion about you, Taya. You signed up for this shit, okay? You wanted to put everything up there on TV. And when you do that, and you're a reality show, if you've never watched a reality show before, okay, people are going to look into who you are. And they looked into Sean, and what they found out was that he didn't have 1, but 2 ex-wives, and kids that he apparently has no relationship with, and all of these really dark allegations, okay? Dark allegations. I'm not getting into them over here, because that's not what I do on this channel. But go look them up if you want to. Just put in POLYFAMILY Sean allegations. I can tell you, it'll pull it up right here. I'll do it for you. Look, I've looked this up so many times. POLYFAMILY Sean, look, it pulls it up right here for you in the Google search. Sean allegations. The Ashley's Reality Roundup. Sean of TLC's POLYFAMILY exposed for allegedly having, I mean, it goes on here. It is bad, you guys. So people are speculating that because of these allegations, they rushed those 2 episodes out, put those 2 episodes out, and acted like they were ending the season on a 2-hour finale, okay? TLC did not announce it until the day before that they were doing this. That Monday, on their Facebook group and on Instagram, they announced that it was going to be a 2-hour finale, okay? Previously, on the week before, on 1,000 Pound Sisters, they said next week on 1,000 Pound Sisters, all right? I know, I watched it. So what it makes it seem like is that the people at TLC, that great production team that allows their people to lie, they don't vet anybody out. Why you would not vet this out on somebody, first of all, before you have an entire show that you're paying people to be on this, why you wouldn't vet them out, or why Taya, Ashley, or Tyler, who are supposedly in a family with this man, wouldn't go to TLC and be like, we're kind of afraid this might come out, okay? I can't imagine there are not meetings that go on where they're not like, is there anything that could possibly come out? And Sean's like, I don't know. Maybe all these allegations and lawsuits that I have pending. Because they're bad, you guys. They're really bad. Like, read the articles. So anyway, so it looks to me like TLC paused 1,000 Pound Sisters and rushed out to put these 2 episodes out and call it a finale to shut the season down early, okay? Now, apparently they're filming for season 2, people have said, but I can't find, you can't find anything on any TLC show, whether it's renewed or not, and all this kind of stuff. There's all these allegations, or not allegations, there's all these rumors that 1,000 Pound Best Friends is canceled or renewed, and listen, I don't see that there's any truth to that. Sister Wives, you can never find out what's going on with Sister Wives. It's like I don't know. It's weird how they keep things in a wraps. But anyway, so that's what, this week was the finale. It's over. It's done, okay? So let's get into what happened this week. So it starts with Taya meeting with her mom for lunch just to catch up. And basically the catch up is, let me tell you what happened on every episode of the show for the last 5 episodes. Okay, so it was all the things we already knew. She says her mom's her best friend. And all she does is just rehash the whole season. Sean and Tyler aren't getting along. Tyler texted the blood type. I'm like so bored of this show, you guys. Honestly, it's like there's no new storylines. The only new storyline is that Taya has a crush on this Lex girl that's also in a polyamorous, closed, kind of open. They've had 2 previous triads. I don't even understand what some of these fucking words mean. I don't even get it, okay? It's like they come up with these words to fit whatever deal they want to be with at the moment. It doesn't make any sense to me. I don't understand these words. I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but they don't mean anything, okay? Because they're in this polyamorous closed quad, but now, and I'll get into this in a second, because I'll tell you, this is the first time this season that I sided with Tyler, okay? At the end of it, Taya comes out to say that she has had a crush on this Lex girl that's in another polyamorous relationship and has 5 kids, and that she's not sure if she wants to pursue it or not. But then when she gets shit about it, then she's like, well, I don't want to pursue it. I'm like, well, you just said you did want to pursue it. Taya, you're a liar, okay? So anyway, she wants to pursue this, but they're a closed quad. Now, this show is built around the concept, okay, of them being a closed quad polyamorous relationship. You have bought us into that, okay, that is possible in this world. That polyamorous couples can be in a closed quad, which is 4 people in a relationship. You don't fuck each other outside that relationship. You don't pursue relationships outside that relationship. And here's the thing, right? I go into these shows and I try to be very open-minded, very respectful of people's stories, okay? So you want us to respect this. And then she's with this other couple, and they're in a closed quad as well, but they've had previously 2 failed triads, which is the man with 2 women, okay, previously. Both of those failed because Lex says that she felt like the other partners liked her husband more than they liked her. So what this show has proven is that none of these funky relationships work, okay? Listen, relationships are tough anyway, but when you're in a closed, if you want me to respect this, if you are in a closed quad relationship and one of those members wants to go out and pursue another relationship, to me, that's an affair, okay? You want me to respect you as having a closed quad, and that's what we're buying into on this show, then you are having an affair, Taya, okay? You've been having an emotional affair. Now you want to have a physical affair, okay? Which is why Tyler asked at the end of the show, are we opening up this quad? Are we open? Are we closed? And they all went crazy and were like, why are you asking these questions? I thought they were really fair questions. You've had your fucking audience buy into 6 episodes of you guys having a family with children built around a closed quad, okay? If every person in any relationship, married, committed, gay, straight, otherwise, however you define your relationship, if anytime somebody came along, okay, that you wanted to pursue a relationship with, had a crush with, thought was attractive or whatever, that would be considered an affair. So it is no different with a closed quad unless they change those rules. So the fact that Tyler asked that question, I did not think was unfair, okay? But yet, here we are again with Taya. I gotta move my legs. My leg is falling asleep. Hold on. Here we are again with Taya, and she's at lunch with her mother, rehashing why Sean and Tyler don't get along because of this blood test that came out. Girl, miss me with this shit. I am so bored with this show. So anyway, they go in about the blood type and how they're fighting. The mom says, Taya says her mom went to nursing school. Does that mean she was a nurse? I don't understand that. Does that mean she took 2 classes in nursing school? What is it? I mean, what does that mean? I don't understand that. She says my mom went to nursing school. Is she a nurse? Did she go to 2 classes? Did she take anatomy? Because I did, and I dropped out of it because I couldn't do the coloring book. But anyway, that's beside the point. But I wasn't going to nursing school. I just needed a human biology class. Okay. So then her mom's like, well, it's not definitive about any kind of blood type with that. And I'm like, they are all such fucking idiots. Taya looks at her and she's like, what? What do you mean it's not definitive? And her mom's like, it's not definitive. And she pulls out her phone and she Googles it. And Taya's even like, it took my mom 20 seconds to figure it out. The look on Taya's face in this moment, I'm like, she looks like the world's biggest idiot, okay? You've been fighting for 4... They sit around in those couches in the living room and fight over things they don't even know to be true. They go to attorneys that tell them that they're going to have to change laws, and they just go to a different attorney. They finally go to an attorney, okay, that grew up in a polyamorous community or something. I don't even understand her story. And says, well, we can maybe go to the judge and appeal it, and then they say they're going to adopt the kids. It's like, they're idiots. Like, they're all idiots. They're all idiots. It's so frustrating to watch it. And I'll be honest with you, I felt bad for Alicia up until this episode. Alicia, you chose to bring your kids into this situation. You're part of the problem, okay? Alicia, you are part of the problem. You chose to be there, okay? My friend said it to me last week, and you know what? She was right. You chose to be there. You could have said no when your husband wanted to start doing all this madness. And because you said on this episode, when Tyler approached me with this conversation. So now we know that Tyler was the one that approached Alicia, okay, about wanting to be a swinger. Which is why Alicia now has all these issues that Sean is fucking Taya, Tyler's fucking Taya, nobody's fucking Alicia, and Alicia thinks, what's wrong with me? And the reason she feels that way is because her husband came to her years ago and said, I want to swing. And so it's bringing up those old feelings of which she has referenced the entire season, but really never talked about. Those original feelings that she had, that my husband don't want to fuck me anymore. He wants to fuck some other woman, but keep the family together. Well, baby, you can't have your cake and eat it too always, okay? It doesn't always work. And I'll show you how it doesn't work because Alicia is the fallout, okay? And anybody that watches this show can see how miserable this woman is in this relationship. Girl, pull your kids and get the fuck out of there. Why are you in this situation? And then somebody sent me this TikTok of Alicia and Sean watching the show back. How are you watching the show back and not seeing how miserable you are, Alicia? I mean, then you choose to stay, okay? Then you are there. You're part of it, okay? So anyway, her mom reads the blood type info that we've all been Googling since they said it on the show. I Googled it months ago, okay? And mom reads the blood type info, and Taya's like, well, we didn't Google it because we didn't want to know. Okay, you're not wanting to know who the biological father is. It's so weird to me, okay? This whole show is around them getting the audience to buy into, they're all our kids, so we don't need to know who the biological father is. When that's bullshit, okay? You know who the biological father is of Tyler and Alicia's kids, all right? So you guys respect them as all your kids. But when it comes to Taya having kids, you don't, and Alicia's first child and with that foursome, you don't want to know who the father is, okay? And it's because of the jealousy between Tyler and Sean. Because whoever the father is, the biological father, is going to feel like he has ownership over this child. Because the whole show is about ownership over women and ownership over children. It is a misogynist show, and that's what it's all about. That's why y'all didn't Google to look up the blood type, okay? But now, I think, Sean, because when they confront him about it, he's like, oopsie, my bad, I didn't know. Doesn't apologize or anything. And I'm like, did he and Tyler concoct this whole thing just to have a storyline for this show? Is that what this is? Or are you truly that big of idiots that are that jealous of each other over Taya? Because you both want to fuck her so bad all the time, okay? Anyway, so she's like, I'm not sure how Sean got it wrong. And she's like, when my mom got it done in 60 seconds, she says, I have to tell the quad now. I have to tell them. She doesn't want resentment between the guys. I'm like, girl, this storyline is so old. I am so over it this time. Then it goes to house, and Lex and Chris, or the polyamorous, failed triad, dual. I don't know. I'm so confused about all this stuff. They're visiting. This is the girl that Taya has the crush on, okay? She's like, talked to her on the phone. She's like, what? Oh my God, what? I can't wait to see you. What? I'm like, girl. And her husband's sitting on the couch, and her kids are like, it's just weird to me. Anyway, Taya says she's always been drawn to Lex, but they've just never pursued it because she lives 12 hours away and because they're in a closed quad, okay? Lex and Chris have both dated the same person at the same time, which they call the triad. They've been polyamorous for 6 years, but they had polytriad. They had 2 polytriad relationships that failed because Lex says they were more into Chris than they were into her, okay? Alicia asks how they're doing to this Lex, and they both want to date outside the relationship now. Y'all, this is so fact to me. All these people that are trying to prove to us that this works, but they don't any of them want to stay with anybody. And people have laughed at me for the last 5 weeks about talking about how it's all about fucking. It's all they want to do is just fuck somebody else, okay? Just have an open relationship. What you should do is you should just stay with your person and be married and have an open relationship if that's what works for you, okay? You know, do what you... I'm in a very traditional marriage because that's what works for us. But if you want to be in an open relationship, baby, do it. Fuck people all day long, okay? A little fucky sucky. Do what you want to do all day long, baby. Okay? All day long. Do it. Okay? Go in the bathroom and do little, Luby HJs and everything, baby. Do it. Okay? But just admit to what you're doing it. Don't put these fancy fucking words around it like closed quad and polytriad. None of this shit means anything because you don't stick to the rules. So why are you trying to get us to buy into a bunch of this bullshit, okay? 19 seasons of Sister Wives getting us to buy into polygamous, plural marriage, and none of them believe it anymore, okay? Season 1, baby, I'm out, okay? None of this shit works. None of this shit works. If this makes me anything, it just makes me want to be single forever, okay, is what it makes me. But I'm married, so listen. But anyway, so Lex and Chris, they had 2 polytriad relationships, but they were more into him than they were into her, and she got jealous. Okay, which is interesting that she doesn't understand how her telling Taya that she has a crush on her isn't going to cause a problem for the quad, okay? That she has no respect. You're staying in these people's home. You have no respect, okay, for the other 3 members of the quad, that you are going to come in and have an emotional affair with this woman and stay in her home and eat dinner and have your kids play together. And they're showing on a TV show. This is an affair, okay? Let's make this very clear. This is an affair, okay? That they are dancing around the fact that Taya is pansexual, and so because she's pansexual, she should be able to be outside. And I'm going to address this right now because I think it needs to be addressed, that she's pansexual, and so her needs are not met in the relationship. Listen, okay? I say in a lot of my videos that the B and the LGBTQI plus community does not get a lot of acknowledgement, okay? Because people do not try to understand it. I have a lot of bisexual friends of mine that are married in heterosexual and same-sex relationships that do not go outside of their relationships even though they're bisexual, okay? Because they have made a commitment to that relationship. So they don't go outside of that, even though their sexuality is more fluid, okay? But once they've made the commitment to that relationship, they don't go outside of that. Do I know people in open relationships? Hell yeah. Do they work most of the time? Hell no. But they got to work that shit out for themselves, okay? I've known swingers. Listen, I'm 52 years old. I've known a little bit of everything, okay? But I know a lot of bisexual people, men and women, that are in committed relationships that do not go outside of the relationship even though they have other sexual interests because they've made a commitment to that relationship. Taya, you have made a commitment to this relationship of being a closed quad, okay? Just because you're pansexual, like Tyler says, does not give you free license to go fuck anybody you want. But Sean doesn't care, and Sean co-signs this because Sean objectifies his wife and literally sees her as a sexual object. So Sean gets off on the fact that his wife wants to go fuck somebody else. He loves that. That's what Sean gets off on because he wants that. They have said from day one, Sean is not emotional. That's why he can't have a relationship with Alicia because Alicia's emotional. Okay? That's why none of this is working because Sean doesn't have the ability to have an emotional relationship with anybody because all he does is objectify them and want to have a sexual relationship with them. That's all it's about. It's what it's been about from the very beginning. So anyway, Lex asks about when you get into this relationship at the beginning, and Alicia's giving her advice and says, you'll find new insecurities, and then she says that they're more, anyway, it goes into this whole thing. Alicia explains her boundaries with her and says they compare their relationships, and then she says that she and Sean have not been on good terms because he doesn't respect those boundaries. Then they go out for ice cream, and so that Taya can tell the quad about the blood test. Her mom did the research. I love that they refer to Google searching as research, okay? If you really gave a fuck about your kid at all, that you were so concerned to take to national television their blood type and their paternity, which that child cannot even consent to, but you made it a storyline for a reality TV show to get a paycheck. If you really gave that much of a shit, you might have gone to a doctor or called up your doctor and asked him about the blood type instead of even Googling it. But you couldn't even do either one of those. You just carried it as a storyline, right? Sean Googles it and goes, oh, it is true. I guess it is true. I don't know what I Googled. Then he says what he Googled. He says, I literally Googled what he said on the show, and it comes up and it says, yes, it's possible that they could. I'm like, I Googled the exact same thing that you just said you Googled. And just like I did weeks ago, he is a liar. Sean is a liar. Then he doesn't apologize. He doesn't say to Tyler, like, I'm sorry. Tyler even says, it'd be nice if he even acknowledged it. He just goes, oh, guess I was wrong. Okay, 4 episodes of y'all fighting over this shit, and that's been the storyline. And you can't even apologize to anybody, and you have brought complete toxicity to your closed quad. Miss me on this shit, okay? Sean refuses to apologize when he caused total turmoil in this family, right? Alicia says that, and Alicia just makes it, about the fact that he should have talked to her when he was in the car with her and they got the text message from Tyler. And he just kind of shrugs and he's like, yeah, I guess I should have. He don't care. And it's like, at this point, I was like, you know what? It's interesting that it took the allegations to shut the show down. Because we don't even need the allegations coming out about Sean to already... I've known since episode 1 that Sean is an ass, okay? He is an ass. He objectifies women. He is threatened by Tyler. And if he is not the alpha dog running the house, I mean, he doesn't... Listen, we took 19 seasons, and we figured it out about season 14, about Cody Brown. We figured it out about Sean on season 1, okay? Then Sean and Alicia, he's playing basketball, and they're talking about the distance that they feel between each other. I'm like, this show is so boring. I don't care about this, okay? And they're showing about... Did y'all hear the lawnmower in the background? Every time I plan to film a video, I'm trying to get to the pool. They are out there. The landscapers come right to my house, every week when I'm getting ready to film. Anyway, so she tells him that they're not having sex anymore, blah, blah. I'm just going to speed this up because I'm so over it, to be honest with you. She wants to work on it. He wants to work on it. I'm like, girl, just leave. She's like, I don't know that we can ever get back to what we had. I'm like, what? The swinger that you had 5 years ago that you guys were fucking every night? She wants to get back to... It's just weird. Then they go to the adventure park. The kids are all playing with Lex and Chris and all this kind of stuff. And then Alicia and Tyler are feeding this horse, and she's talking about her dad. She calls her dad. She's like, I'm going to tell my dad. Alicia is willing to give up. I mean, her dad does not consent to the phone call being recorded or recorded for the show. It's kind of obvious at this point because nothing's really come out about her dad. That her dad just really cares about Alicia and the kids. She is willing to throw that away for Taya and Sean, which is so fucking weird to me. She's like, I'm going to tell my dad he has to respect all the children as my children. And if he doesn't, then I'm not going to pursue. It makes me really sad for Alicia. Your children are growing up with their only paternal grandparent left that they have. Okay, and you are willing to give up that relationship over these two fools that do not give a shit about you. Not to mention the entire time, okay, that Taya is wanting to have a relationship with her father that Alicia is wanting to have a relationship with her father that doesn't respect them as her own biological kids because he doesn't know if they're his biological grandparents or grandchildren. So why would he? And she's like, I think it's a really small ask. I personally think it's kind of a big ask, okay? It's a generational thing, first of all. Second of all, those might not be his biological grandchildren, even if you've lived together for 5 years. Taya and Sean have only been married for 6 years, which means that at year 1, they were swinging, and at year 2, they got involved in this relationship. This family's only been together for 5 years, okay? Now Taya wants to go out and have a relationship with somebody else, and Alicia can't even have a relationship with her dad. I mean, it's so fucked to me, and then Taya gets so pissed at the end that nobody will co-sign her bullshit about going outside the closed quad except for her husband, Sean. But last episode, we were talking about Alicia having a relationship with her dad, and they're like, nope, 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 nope. It's just so weird to me. It's like, why Tyler and Alicia do not see that Taya and Sean are running the show? It's because Tyler just wants to fuck Taya as much as he can, and he probably thinks those kids are his maybe anyway. He's like, they look like me. That's what he says, so... Anyway, Alicia and Tyler are talking on the horse. She calls her dad, and she says she has no choice but to sacrifice her relationship with her dad for the good of the quad. I'm like, actually, you have a lot of choices in this situation. You could leave. You could, reunify your relationship with your dad. You could have your children go live with your dad, okay? Or you could bring on the show how your dad is more problematic than just the fact that he will not acknowledge those children as his biological children. I actually thought it was nice that he sent them, because Taya's like, he sent them a Christmas card, but he signed it his name, not Papa. I'm like, I think it's kind of nice he even sent him a Christmas card. Even gave the kids a Christmas card. He acknowledged them. He acknowledged them as part of the family. He sent him a Christmas card. My dad and I have a very good relationship. I don't think I've ever... My dad don't send cards. My dad don't send Christmas cards, okay? I don't know that I've ever gotten... So, to be bent out of shape about the fact that card is not signed Papa, baby, you done lost me on that shit, okay? And Alicia saying, I guess I have no other choice but to sacrifice... This is going to stop in 30 seconds. Hold on. Okay. But Alicia to say, I don't have any other choice but to sacrifice this relationship. You have a lot of choices. So then Sean and Alicia go on this intimacy date, which Alicia plans because she wants to be closer with Sean. But then they want to talk about sex, and Alicia don't want to talk about sex. She's real uncomfortable talking about sex. And I'm like, what? Your entire relationship is built on sex. Now you book an appointment with an intimacy specialist, and you don't want to talk about sex anymore? And then they do this thing where they're like on a seesaw together at the end, looking into each other's eyes, and she says she feels beautiful and desired. The whole show is just fucked up. And then they're back at home, and Tyler and Taya are like, how is the workshop? It's like they all make fun of Alicia. Like, she's trying so hard to have real relationships. Baby, they don't want to have real relationships. They just want to have an orgy, okay? They want to put the kids in the bedroom to sleep, and they want to have an orgy. Nobody wants to take care of these kids because all they ever do is complain about how hard it is to take care of 5 kids with 4 parents, okay? Let's do the math. That's almost a parent-to-child ratio, okay? They constantly complain about how hard it is to take care of kids, and then all they want to talk about is having sex, except for Alicia, because ain't nobody having sex with Alicia, not even her husband, okay? So then Taya tells them about that Lex is interested in her and pursuing this relationship. Sean encourages it. Tyler is shocked that they're even talking about it, pursuing into it part of a relationship. I was too. I mean, to say you have a crush is one thing, but to say, I mean, we've known this. This was shown in like episode 1 as like the trailer for this season. Tyler says, but we don't date outside the 4, so are we changing the rules for all? And Alicia loses it. Alicia's like, why would we change the rules for all of us? Just because Alicia, who is pansexual, has interests outside of it. Okay, well, pansexual could cover a lot of different people that Taya could be interested in down the road. It opens a lot of doors for her, okay? And Tyler's like, well, if we're opening the door for Taya, are we opening the door for all of us? Are we no longer open? Are we no longer closed? Alicia doesn't like it because what Tyler's asking, then all of a sudden it puts her in a position because Alicia don't want to fuck nobody else, okay? And she's probably thinking, if Taya's off with Lex, then I'm going to get Sean and Tyler all to myself. And Tyler's asking, I think, a very fair question. He says, but we don't date outside the 4. And Alicia goes, yeah, but it's because Taya's pansexual. And Tyler says, because she's not straight, she gets a special relationship outside of this. And Alicia's like, she's wondering if Tyler is looking for an opportunity, if he's been waiting for this as an opportunity to explore outside options. Alicia, honey, I understand why you're jealous, and it's all about you because you're in this fucked up situation. Your husband was not looking for an outside opportunity until Taya brought this in there, okay? He was just as shocked as the rest of us were, all right? You need to take your husband and fucking hit it, okay? You need to get out of this weirdo relationship. It's fucked up. And the fact that Alicia, if I was Tyler asking these fair questions and Alicia looked at me, I'd be like, what are you talking about? She's the one wanting to fuck everybody under the sun. I'm just asking, are we changing the rules? Because it appears that we're changing the rules. We are no longer a closed quad, okay, of 4 people. If one person is fucking other people. And Taya is just rolling her eyes, and she is so pissed. Like, how dare you ask me to stay in this relationship? I am pansexual, and I should have every humanly right to fuck whoever I want. It's so weird to me. So anyway, so he says he's supposed to shut it down right away, not having his feelings for it. And he says it's just not fair. Taya says it's not fair, but it's what's organic for her. It's like they use all these words just to, you know, make it fitting. Taya says okay, if you had a heterosexual couple and the woman was pansexual and they were married and they had kids together, are you telling me this would not be a heated conversation, and probably has been to many couples, if the woman wanted to pursue a woman outside the relationship, okay? If she were bisexual, or if the man were bisexual. I mean, I think the question would be, well, what's the commitment of a relationship? What are the rules of our relationship? I think that what Tyler is asking is completely legitimate and fair. Taya says, well, I'm not moving forward with it anyway. Well, 5 minutes before the conversation you were. You brought this to them to pursue it. Now, it's too hot in the kitchen, so you're backing up. I'm like, why did you even bring it up then? And Tyler's like, is our relationship opening up? Is it closed? He's worried about what this changes for all of them. He doesn't know what it changes for all of them. He's like, I don't know if we're open or if we're closed now. None of it makes any sense to me. Alicia then says, after she's defended Taya, they show her in the confessional, and she goes, adding someone else could destroy all of this for us. Once you open it up, you can't undo it. And then the season ends. That's what I think about all that. Anyway. Woo, baby, it's over. We made it. We made it. Anyway, let me know what you thought about all that in the comment section below. It's a lot. It's a lot. And it was a lot of vocabulary and spelling lessons this week. Okay, I learned what a polytriad was, and that it didn't work for Lex and Chris. And so it probably won't work for this close quad either. Anyway, let me know what you think in the comment section below. I love you guys, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.